Okay, here we are. All right, it is Tuesday, April 13th. I can't believe how this year is passing by so quickly. It is April 13th, and we are here for our health coach online workshop. And basically, tonight, what we are going to do is we are going to give a quick rundown on what coaching is and what it's all about. A lot of people see it floating around and the opportunity floating around, but yet really don't know the details behind it. And if you are a client on program, let's say you're like rocking your health journey right now, and possibly your coach has mentioned to you a couple times, like, oh, you should coach, or oh, you should do something like that. I'm sure the first like red flags that go up are like, okay, like, what are you talking about? Like, I could never do anything like that. I'm trying to get my own self healthy here. And just, even thinking about something like that could kind of seem crazy, because that's how I felt when I started my coaching journey over 8 years ago. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Laura Sigworth. I am a certified health coach with Optavia. Like I just said, it's been over 8 years. I started my health journey 10 years ago. And I'm going to give a little bit more detail about my story in a second. But thank you so much to everybody that's joining us tonight, taking time out on this Tuesday evening. Hopefully your day's been great. And I'm going to try to keep this pretty quick and timely so that you guys can enjoy the rest of your night. And we'll get straight to the point about what coaching is, what it looks like, what the details are, and what could be possible for you. Okay. Okay. So before I go into everything, I want you guys to understand my story. Okay. And where I come from, like where I began, because, all of you on here, we all have a story. We all have a reason why we're on this Zoom. We all have a reason why we might have started our health journey. And we all have a starting point. Okay. So before I go into that, I just want to introduce myself and my children and my story. And so here are my children. Darian, these pictures are, I need to update these pictures, but Darian just recently turned 10. And then I have little Dominic, who is getting ready to turn 8. And then I've got Daniel, who just turned 6. And then on top of it, we have little baby Elsie, who just turned 1. So I'm having like a flow of birthdays going on right now. These are all spring babies, but these babes are my life. They're the reason that I decided to change my life 10 years ago. They're the reason that I wanted to get healthy. And I wanted a bigger life. I wanted a bigger life than what I was living. As you can see here on the left, that was when I started my journey back in 2011. I was an architectural engineer at the time. My lifestyle then was working 60 hours a week. I had a 45-minute commute every day. And just long days. I was getting to work at 7 a.m. I was leaving work 8 p.m. or so, getting home after dark. It would be 9 p.m. Eating late dinners, lots of takeout. I would drown. I had a lot of depression, a lot of stress with my job. It was a high demand at the time. And I would just go home and drink. It was usually a bottle of wine every night. And I was very negative. I was just a different person back then. And I decided my cousin was a health coach at the time. And at that time I had done everything. I'd done everything you could think of: Weight Watchers, points, calorie counting, diet pills, shakes, slim fast shakes from the store. I mean, everything, I was a classic, like, Monday dieter, basically. I would be so stressed out for my week of work. Friday night would come, I'd stuff my face, drink all weekend. Come Sunday night, I would feel bloated and gross and be like, I'd go on Google and be like, okay, what am I going to get started with? And I would just fail, every week and all the time. And so my cousin was a coach. And so she reached out to me and shared this program. And I thought, you know what do I have to lose besides, my weight? And I gave it a shot and I instantly fell in love. I dropped 40 pounds in 3 months of following the program. And that was without exercise. And then I really got into weightlifting and running. And then, the rest is history. But this timeline here shows, I love this timeline because this was me 10 years ago. This was me right after recently having Elsie. And this is me now. So it's crazy. Sometimes it's mind blowing to me that the program showing me like what I could do after 4 children. Like I'm way healthier than what I was even before 4 kids. And it's crazy what the program offers. But that's the physical part, okay? And with Optavia, what we do is we offer 3 parts. We offer a healthy body, we offer a healthy mind, and we offer healthy finances. And so I was just so focused on that healthy body part, and I was able to do that because the program's so simple. But then it like opened up a bigger world to me. And so this picture just shows me sitting sitting in my cubicle back in the day as an engineer. And as you can see, I kind of laugh at this picture because as you can see, this is before the stress kicked in and the alcohol drinking and stuff in my face. I wasn't in bad shape when I started, but it led to that later. And then, yeah, to be able to choose coaching, I started to coach. So I lost the 40 pounds. Everybody started seeing my results. Okay. So some of you on here, if you have started program and everybody's starting to see results, you're piquing people's interest. That's how it starts. Okay. And that's how it started with me. Shanna, who's our guest speaker tonight, she has a different story. But yeah, people started to notice me and what I was doing. And it wasn't just the weight loss. It was the fact that I was vibrant. I was excited. Like, my skin was clear and I was just smiling. And people are like, what are you on? Like, what is happening? And so I started coaching. Shortly after that, I think my coach asked me about 12 times and I said no, because I was drowning. I had no time. I mean, I was making it home so late. I was barely making it through the day. Some days I felt like I barely had time to go to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like if anybody can relate to me, Papa too in the chat. But I mean, it was just crazy. And so when someone was asking me to do something else, let alone help other people, I was just like, there's just no way. But it was pulling on my heartstrings. I knew there was people out in the world that were struggling like I was, that needed this, that needed a better life. So I said, what the heck, let's give it a go. Within 3 months time, I matched my engineering income. And I was able to come home. I was able to come home, be a mom to my babies. I actually found out I was pregnant the day I put in my 2 weeks notice. So I was excited. I was going to be able to be a mom. I was able to run a successful business. I was able to make a great income. And what could be better than that? So as you guys are on here tonight and watching this, I really want you to kind of step back and think to yourself, what's your why? Okay. Like if you would have asked me back then, oh, I'd love to be home with my kids, I would have never thought that was possible. A lot of people today don't realize that there's something else out there. There's another vehicle out there that can give them freedom. So what is your why? Like, why would you even entertain something like this? Is it to help people? Yes, that's always like one of the number one reasons we want to coach is to make an impact. Obviously, we found something that's helping us. We'd love to help other people. But go beyond that. Okay. Go beyond that. Just like your weight loss journey. Yeah, you want to lose weight, but what does that weight loss mean to you? Okay. And just think to yourself, what's important to you. If you could vision yourself 5 years from now, whether it's yourself, whether it's your spouse, your kids, family, friends, what do you envision yourself doing? Are you working yourself to death right now? Are you drowning in debt, drowning financially? what does freedom look like to you? And that doesn't necessarily mean quitting your job. Okay, I quit my job, but that doesn't necessarily mean freedom to everybody. I have wonderful coach partners that are still working their job because they love it, but they get to do coaching alongside it too. So with Optavia and with our coaching opportunity, like I said, this is what we focus on, is the trilogy of optimal health. Okay, healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances. And some folks are like, well, what does that even mean? Healthy body, it's the obvious. It's the, losing weight. It's the getting off medications, being just, being fit, exercising, sleeping good. It's the physical things. Healthy mind is more of your happiness, fighting depression, anxiety, having fulfillment. Like when I sat in that cubicle every day, it was really hard on me because I was like, wow, I went to 5 years of engineering school to sit in this cubicle for like 60 hours a week. Like I really struggle with that. I'd see the sun out, I'd want to be outside. And I don't know. It weighed on me. Healthy finances, that can be a wide spectrum. That can mean maybe you're strapped. Maybe the current job you're working isn't helping make ends meet. Maybe you're drowning in debt. Maybe you're not able. Do you know how many people I talk to that never go on vacation with their kids? Like ever. They're like, we've never even been on a vacation. Doing stuff like that, being able to live a life of abundance. Maybe there's things you want to do and you don't want to have to think about it. You don't want to have to look at your bank account every 2 seconds, So this is the trilogy. And what happens, and the reason they're connected is because let's say someone's struggling financially, right? You can't pay their bills. Well, then they're stressed out. And when they're stressed out, then they probably have emotional eating. Then they start eating crap. Then they start gaining weight. Then they start getting off medications, right? So it's like all connected. Or maybe they're like super wealthy, but they're severely obese and they're going into their doctor every other week. And then it's like, okay, well, what do you really have going for yourself if you don't have your health? You might have all the money in the world, but what are you doing with yourself if you're not in a healthy place? Okay. So they're all just kind of connected with each other. So what we're going to have next is Shanna. And I just realized that I forgot her beautiful pictures to put on here, but that's okay. I'm just going to bring up her face. And Shanna is going to share some, just her story. She comes from a different part. Like Shanna came to me for the bigger life. Okay. Some people come to Optavia to get physically healthy, and that's a good starting point because anybody feeling top notch physically is going to live life better, right? But Shanna was already in a good place physically. Man, when I met her, she was rocking her 6-pack and everything else. And from the outside, you think, oh man, that girl's got it all. She's living the best life ever, right? But she wasn't. She wasn't living an optimal life. So she wanted something more for herself. She wanted something more for her family. So she's going to share how coaching helped change her life.
Hi guys. Okay, thanks for hopping on with us tonight. Yeah, so basically the way my life looked before I had Optavia in there was I worked for the Missouri State Capitol. I worked a lot of long hours. The latest that I worked was from 8 in the morning till 3 in the morning. That's a really long day. And it kept me away from my kids. I've got 2 kids. This is Kara, she's 8, and my other one's 10. And, for me, I was very busy. I felt like I didn't even know which end was up, couldn't keep my house clean, couldn't do the laundry. Between working, I taught fitness classes on the side. My health journey started when Kara was 1. So I've been on that for about 7.5 years. I say frequently, I wish I had found Optavia back a long time ago whenever I started this, but we have a reason why it comes into our life when it does. But back to my job. So, I worked a lot, fitness classes, taking care of kids, and it was just really stressful. Financially, my husband's a bricklayer. He works very hard. But you also have rain days, if you guys know what construction does. And that means that some weeks you don't get paid nearly as much as what you get paid other weeks. So budgeting was really hard. I didn't make very much money with the state either. So we had some personal debt to pay off. We also had our vehicle loans, of course. And so for me, that was really weighing on me and stressing me out a lot. We'd pay that off every year, but every single year we accrue the debt again. And so for me, Laura came into my life. I was teaching the classes and she started coming to the gym. I thought she was adorable. And, we ended up just, kind of connecting on Facebook and Snapchat. So she invited me to coffee. We went to coffee. We talked about, the coaching opportunity. And to be honest, I didn't think I had the time. I don't know if you guys feel like you're busy. I felt like I couldn't even breathe, let alone, do something else. I was also studying to be a personal trainer because my goal in life was to be able to help people. So she came in and showed me, the financial opportunity. She showed me the success that her clients were having. I'd never seen or heard of Optavia before. And so anyway, she kind of shared that stuff with me. And even though I was very terrified, I went ahead and before I left that conversation, I said, okay, let's do this. And honestly, the rest has just been kind of an amazing turn of events to where, I was working 3 jobs, okay, at the time. I, within 3 months, had matched my income. And then within 8 months, I had paid off that 23,000 that I was in debt. To me, that was mind blowing because I only made, 35,000 or whatever it was with the state. So to me, that was incredible to be able to make money on the side while I'm still working my full time job, still being a mom. And to be honest, Laura was amazing. She worked with me at 9 o'clock every single night. We worked together to make this work. And then what happened was I quit my job at 8 months. So that was pretty powerful to me. My husband and I had talked about it. And for me to be more present with my kids was really important. So honestly, I put a couple bullet points out there for Laura. And, it's helped me with my marriage. It's helped me show up as a better person. It's helped me show up for my kids better. Um, it's helped me not be stressed about money. It's helped me have more purpose and fulfillment and passion to be able to help people live the life that they're supposed to be living, but they don't know that they are, because that's where I was at too. I didn't know that things like this were possible. I didn't know I could grow. I didn't know I could become a different person. And thanks to Optavia, that has showed me all of these things. So anyway, I love that the struggles that I have these days are nothing like the struggles that I used to have. Okay. The struggles today are how am I going to grow? How am I going to help people instead of being stressed out and just not being in a good place in my life, basically in any capacity. So Optavia has helped me with my physical health. I'm in the best shape at 30, almost 38 with 2 kids. I've never looked this good in my whole entire life, and I'm very grateful for that. Secondly, I have time to take care of myself now because I don't have a job, so I can go to any class that I want. I can do any workouts. I can pick up my kids. I can do anything that I want during the day. And then financially, I am able to, instead of having debt, I'm able to put money in savings. So to me, that's a big stress relief, and being able to book, Optavia convention, and then also my husband and I an anniversary trip without really having to worry about it is a big deal to me. So anyway, Laura's going to kind of go through what the steps are to, if you do think this is a good opportunity for you. She's going to go through kind of what the steps are and just, how we go through, as your business coach, step by step, how this works.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Shanna, so much. You got me over here tearing up. It's pretty powerful. I get pretty emotional about it too, just because like you, just having that feeling of being trapped and wondering like, is this it? Is this my life? And being so young and especially when you have kids home and back at home, I often hear people basically saying that they're just, I ask them, well, how are you doing? Or what do you have coming up? And all they say is work, work. I'm working, or I got to work all weekend, or I got to work. And it's just, that's not why we're here, you guys. We're not here just to work to live, you want to be able to live out your life the best you can, make memories, and whether it's with your kids or family and friends. And that's what it's all about. And this is such a gift to be able to do something. I mean, you have the best of both worlds. Like you get to change lives, and at the same time you're changing lives, you're changing your own, and you're making an amazing income to actually be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different things out there these days that are can be great, but let's go make $1 million. Let's do this. And it's like, is that for real? Like, come on, like, is that for real? Like, can that really happen? And I see Jamie on here, Jamie Webb, as a newer coach, and I'll use her as an example here as soon as I show you guys about the income. But I mean, yeah, this is for real, you guys. And I'm going to go through the details next of like what it actually takes. So if you're kind of kicking around coaching and you're like, okay, don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to begin. Like, what does that even look like? What does that even mean? Like, I know one of the first things I thought was, okay, how will I get clients, or how will I even make money? Like, how does it work? So I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to just give you the breakdown. Basically, what will happen is, if this is something you want to do, you will be teamed up with your coach, or it maybe you're new to us and you don't even have a coach yet. Then whoever invited you on tonight will be your business coach. Okay. They will be your mentor. They will be the one that will dive into your trilogy, why it is you're doing this. They're going to mentor you, and they're going to take you through training. Okay. So this is not a business. This is not something that you do alone. You don't just sign up as a coach and then we're like, peace, go out and get some clients and have some fun. Okay. That is not how this works. You will have somebody hip to hip with you the entire time. They almost kind of do it for you for a second, honestly. And then you kind of step in. So what they're going to do is they're going to help you set some goals. Like, what's the bigger picture? But yet at the same time, we're going to take milestones. Okay. So maybe you want to make $1,000 per month. Maybe you want to make 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever that is. What we're going to do is set that goal, but then we're going to start taking baby steps, just like you do with your physical journey. Okay. So the first step is assisting 5 lives if we can. And nothing in this is mandatory. Okay. So when I say a goal, it's a goal. Just like if you want to lose your first 10 pounds, it's a goal. If you don't reach 10 pounds in a month or two, you're not going to give up, right? You just keep going. So our first milestone that we want to do is to help assist 5 lives. That's a really big deal in Optavia. It's called senior coach. The reason it's a big deal is because, I mean, it's like a basketball team. I mean, it's pretty big deal to be able to help make that impact. I mean, if you imagine if each of us helped 5 people, what a ripple that would create. So it's a pretty big deal to be able to reach that point. What you do is you work right alongside your coach. Okay. So they help you with everything. They help you with who in your world could use something like this. How would you even approach people? Okay. You want to be like authentic and genuine. And what they do is they try to help do this within 30 days, like your first 4 weeks on your coaching journey. The reason for that is to help build your confidence. Okay. So if you think to yourself for a second, if you think to yourself, okay, let's think about a dog. Okay. A dog, or if those of you who have kids, you had to go through potty training at one point, right? Or you had to take them through potty training. Well, when you decided to do that, it was like, okay, let's do this. Let's make this happen. And you did it within a week or 2, right? It was just consistent, and boom, boom, boom. And then the child or the puppy caught on quick. And now look at all of us. We're all going to the bathroom naturally, right? It's just part of our day. It's the same thing with this. Like, if we help assist 5 lives, we try to do it within 30 days if we can, because you're hearing everything happening one after the other. Boom, boom, boom. You're doing health assessment after health assessment. You're hearing everything, and you're catching on to it quick. And it's helping build your confidence. Okay. Because doing something like this can be super scary. It's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what this is going to look like. So it can be terrifying. So what it does is it kills that fear right away. Time involved. That's always one of the first questions we get asked is like, I'd love to do something like this, but again, life is crazy. I know I was working 60 hours a week. So that was my first concern. But getting started, it's 2 to 3 hours a week. Okay. What's cool with Optavia is everything is like time blocked. I do a lot of time blocking throughout my day to be able to create my life of freedom. A lot of things are either in a half-hour increment or an hour increment. Okay. So if you were to do a health assessment, it's 30 minutes. If you were to do a health coach training, it's an hour. So what's cool about it is you can kind of like fit it in the cracks of your day. That's what I did throughout my engineering schedule. If I had a lunch hour or a lunch break, I might do a health assessment here. And I mean, I just kind of made it work. But my mentor helped me with that. Okay. So she helped me with my time management. She helped me make it possible. Then the income you earn from this. Okay. So in order to invest into a coaching business and actually make this something, it's $199. Okay. It's a one-time fee. What you do is you get your website, you get your back office. You also get a really cool coaching kit in the mail. You get all this cool stuff. And then by helping assist those 5 lives within 30 days, then you're going to make back 520 bucks. Okay. So it's a nice little chunk of change. Okay. You pay back your investment pretty quick. And then you also, yeah, I mean, some people on here who are on program, I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal to just pay for their program. I mean, that's like one stepping stone. And then, you know, you keep going on from there. Okay. So this chart is showing the bigger picture. Okay. So what I just explained to you is like the first 4 weeks. Let's just get started. Let's start working together. I'll go into those, how that works here in a second, because I'm sure you're still wondering like, well, okay, still, how do I get started? But we team up, we mentor with you, we go over everything. But this is the bigger picture. So what this shows is your first 4 months of coaching. If you just have in your, if you just have in your mind, okay, I'm going to assist 5 new lives per month. Okay. Which is kind of like 1 per week. Okay. If you want to think of it like that, then you go along this pattern, then you look down here. This is the income that you are growing in that amount of time. Okay. So come month 3, 4, that's when you start making over that $2,000 per month. Okay. And these are real numbers. Also down here, you also start getting a consistency bonus. So every quarter of the year, you get an additional $1,000 per month, which is nice. You know, that's an extra $4,000 per year, just to do whatever. Maybe take your family on a vacation, maybe do some projects on the house, whatever the case may be. And there's also an opportunity to become certified. I usually recommend that in your 3rd month. The certification is through Villanova College of Nursing and the McDonald Obesity Prevention Center. Okay, so it's an online test. But again, I mean, if you're helping 15 people, yeah, you should probably think about getting certified, you know, have that under your belt. And that's also going to increase your income, you know, because you're in it, you know, you're in it, you're serious about it. And so right here, this is just the beginning of a coaching business. This is very realistic. What your title is an executive director. And what's cool about this right here in this chart is this is about 4 to 5 hours per week coaching. Okay. Coaching time for over $2,000 per month. Okay. Guys, I know some people that are working a full-time job and making $2,000 per month. So for 4 to 5 hours per week, I mean, it's a pretty nice little side hustle, whatever you want to call it. But what's cool about it is that, yeah, you're helping people, you're making an income, but even better, I mean, for me, I felt like I was getting more out of it for myself and the accountability for my own journey. I mean, I'm helping other people. They're keeping me engaged. I was like continuing to rock my own journey. Like it was all just blending in with each other. Okay. So then if you're still wondering, okay, really, what are the first steps? This is what we start with. So if tonight you're like, okay, this is something I'd like to do, reach out to your coach. What they'll do is they'll set up a Zoom with you like this to kick things off and kind of go over your story. What do you want to share with this? What people do you want to help? So we start with crafting your story because everybody on here has a different story. Why you got healthy, Like Shanna, she didn't have a weight loss part of it. I did. Like we started at different points. We start off by doing some practice health assessments with some close friends and family, strictly practice. These are super fun calls. Like we have fun with people. And usually how the practice calls end up is like your friends and family usually either they end up doing it. I mean, they didn't get on the call to do it, but they end up doing it by the end of the call. Or they know like two or three people that like, oh my gosh, like I don't need this, but my mom, my sister, my dad, like it just starts to spread very organically by visiting with close friends and family. Okay. If you are on social media, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, those are great ways to share your story. Okay. So maybe a before and after picture. Recently, we just put up our Smile to Inspire. You can put up a milestone post, maybe just something about you and your journey. That usually creates a lot of excitement. People are drawn to that, they're attracted to that. We start mingling and visiting with those people, start getting social. We have everything laid out for you. When it comes to social media stuff, we have everything laid out for you. Okay. You don't need to recreate the wheel. You don't need to think about of all these creative things. Like we have it laid out to you where it's pretty cookie cutter. It's very simple. It's very doable. Um, my biggest tip is just stay hip to hip with your coach. They will walk you through. You will meet with them once per week. Okay. Like you'll have a Zoom with them once per week. They'll lay out everything for you for the week ahead, saying, hey, this is what we're going to work on. This is what you need to do. Man, if you follow those steps within just a few weeks, you're going to grow to senior coach and continue on that path to what I just showed you in that chart. Okay. You'll announce that you're coaching to folks. You'll keep working the social media strategy. But then we even go beyond social media, like life when you're, I mean, we've been through COVID lately. So a lot of people are just starting to get out and social, and there's starting to be events and stuff like that. But just like actually like mingling with people around, like in person. Social media is a great tool, but it's only one tool. So I mean, we just, like I said, we lay it all out for you. We just work with you 1 week at a time, lay out the week ahead, and rock and roll. Okay. So tonight, what we are offering, if this is something that interests you, you've been kind of kicking it around for a bit. I really hope the steps that I laid out for you tonight are simple for you to understand. But what we're offering is a gift, a scholarship to go towards your coaching kit. So if you've decided like, okay, I'd love to do this. I know the coaching kit is $199. We are offering you guys for hopping on, taking the time tonight to be part of this. We are offering you a $50 scholarship. This is good until Friday. Okay. And we will apply that to you, get you set up with your kickoff Zoom and get you going. Okay. I love that little picture because that's what I'm saying. Let's do this. I mean, the world needs us. Like right now, if you are on program, you're probably wondering if you're ordering your fuelings, where the heck everything is, because things are going slow. It's because we're getting slammed, you guys. The world needs us right now. There are people struggling left and right, especially after COVID last year. There's a lot of people that went through some dark, deep stuff, and they're coming out of it. They're needing a better life. They're needing a boost. I've had people come to me, it's not even weight loss related. They're like, just fix me, please. I need something new in my life. I need to be awakened. And whether it's, I mean, now that you've seen our full offering, you can change people's lives physically, you can change them mentally, and you can change them financially. Okay. I'm an example of all three. Shanna was an example of needing just a new life, mentally and financially. We have the whole package. Optavia is a gift, where we can go out and just create this huge ripple effect and just free people, free them from, we have like the keys to all these people's prison cells. You know what I'm saying? It's a really, and that's what awakened me. I didn't have any time, guys. I mean, I was working so much. I was exhausted every single day, but I kept thinking about those people that felt like I used to. And it's a hard place to be. You know, it's a really, really hard place to be. So if you feel passionate about this, you feel like, okay, I can take these steps. They're simple. Trust your coach. trust that they will take you through one step at a time. What I also love about this is they are not only your coach, but your mentor. So if you're ever feeling scared, if you're ever feeling overwhelmed, or like you can't do this, or that you're not capable, that's why they're there. Just like your health journey. If you're following your health journey, we all have our rough days, you know. I have found my best friends through this because we're all on a journey of growth together. And doing this, a lot of us are parents, we got kids, we got life. There's just so much happening, but we're just a big team, and we're in this together. We're just doing life together and helping other people do life. So I hope this was beneficial to you guys. I hope you gave you some value on the coaching opportunity and what it looks like. Again, your steps tonight would be to reach out who invited you. If you're interested, set up a one-on-one with them. Okay. Like I said, what they'll do is set up a Zoom with you, just one-on-one. They'll get everything kicked off for you. They will gift you that scholarship if it's something that you want to commit to. And then, yeah, they'll just start taking you through 1 week at a time and rock and roll. Go out there and help this world. So I'm going to end the recording, but I'll stay on for a few minutes if anybody has questions.